Hello, my name is Burnam, and I will be sharing my research. My study is highlighting the integration of technology in math classes. Currently, I am a teacher at in the Jefferson County School District at Frost Middle School. It is a sixth grade academy, and the demographics at my school show a need for intervention. The intervention program that we are currently using is called Study Island. Study Island is a web based instructional site that assists students in their math and reading skills. I will be comparing students' fall and spring map scores to see if the usage of Study Island during their regular math classes had a significant difference in student growth, and I will be measuring their attitudes about Study Island, along with what is already being used. So my research question is, how does the use of Study Island, a web-based instructional site, promote middle school mathematics students' understanding and attitude while solving mathematical concepts? Here are the three different ways that technology can be integrated into a classroom. It could be used in an exploratory environment, as a tutorial, and tools. And here are the definitions and the sources that breaks down each form: exploratory environment, tutorial, and tools. Here we have one of my themes and a summary of my sources. The first thing that I will explore is the mathematical web-based instructional resources. And all three of these sources highlight the usage of web-based instructional sites. The first one is Math Learning Companion, which is a instructional program designed to assist students who have learning disabilities or who are performing below grade level. The next one is a computer supported collaborative learning environment, which is a strategy for students to team up in an online environment, work on virtual math teams to discuss and solve math problems using an interactive and shared whiteboard. And then finally, we have Math Explore, which uses 4 cognitive strategy steps: reading, finding, drawing, and computing, while solving math problems. So all three of these resources are ways that and tools in which teachers can use to help increase student achievement. And then next we have a summary again of my goals, the sources, and the themes. So while exploring the different web-based instructional sites, it's good to explore what's out there so we can collaborate, network, and share with others. Here is again my goals and sources and themes continued. Another source that I would share is ALEX, which stands for Assessment and Learning Knowledge Spaces. And here's another web-based instructional site that scaffolds instruction by having students travel through an individualized program based on their initial assessment and marks their progress on a pie chart. And then again, another source, Nigel 2006, which highlights the effectiveness the integration of technology has on student achievement, shares that students felt like that doing math on a computer made it easier because it offered more instructions, were more readable, and gave them opportunity to correct their mistakes. So here is my data confidentiality of human subjects. So again, I'm using 64 sixth grade students and 4 math teacher. I will be using an Excel spreadsheet to store students' identification numbers and their following spring map scores. I plan to protect my data results by encrypting the file with a password. Also, I sent home a backpack note for students to gain permission from their parent or guardian in completing the survey. So my methodology and procedures. So my action research applied a group comparison in the form of mixed methods, qualitative and quantitative data collection. For my qualitative data, I will be using the students following spring map scores, and for my quantitative data will be in the form of Likert surveys. I would administer surveys to the math teachers at my school and a sample of 64 students out of a population of around 550 students. So my procedures are as following. First, I administered the backpack note to my students so they can so we can give them time to have their parents to review it, and then if they could not complete it, then they'll just bring the note back. So I had to give them time. So my first step in my process was administering the teacher surveys, and then I was able to obtain my students' scores. And then the last step in my process was students to take the survey. Here are my descriptive statistics. Right here is my fall map scores. The red line represents the median, which was at 196, and 32 out of 64 students scored above the median. Here is a table, a graph of my spring map scores. And right here again, the red line represents the median. And my median had increased from 196 to 200, and this time 54 students out of 64 scored above the median. So we had an increase of 4 points, and 22 more students scored above the median. Right here is a bar graph of the student growth scores. So as you see we had more students, around 24 students scores to increase between 5.7 points and 12.6 points. And and then we had at least 18 students who also scores increased or decreased a negative point. So overall, again, we have student growth. Here are my student survey results, and 58% of students felt like Study Island helped to reteach the math concepts that was challenging. 74% of students felt like the feedback provided from Study Island within the lessons was helpful. 35 students felt like Study Island did not improve their skills, and 52% of students felt like Study Island was engaging. And for my teacher survey results, all 4 teachers answered either strongly agree or agree for the following. Study Island improved students' understanding of various math concepts, helped to improve their confidence in solving math problems, and helped identify struggles that students had while solving math problems. So overall, the surveys showed a positive outcome from using Study Island in math classrooms. Here is my data collection and analysis. I included a p-value table and a correlation table, and my p-value was very, very low. It was less than 500ths, which indicate that the growth that was shown did not happen by chance. And the correlation table shows a weak correlation in regards to the time students spent on study hour and their scores. So my correlation was 30 hundredths, which is rather low. So that tells us that more time spent on study hour did not necessarily indicate that student's test score was going to increase, because some students may not need as much time as other students, and their needs vary. And also, 22 students, more students scored above the median compared to fall and spring MAP scores. And here's a recap of my results again. This shows the spring and fall scores, the median, and the number of students who scored above the median. And here are the results from my surveys. So here are my results linked to literature. And again, the results from my student surveys were all positive, and those were pretty much the same. In regards to my source, Notch in 2006, which students' responses, again, they felt like that using math gave more clues, it gave them more practice and information, and so they felt like it was also exciting to see the immediate scores. And then as far as student growth, the majority of the resources that I found said that technology provides a promising direction for helping children learn mathematics, and only very few sources report the integration of technology did not make a significant difference. For example, Christian 2016 reports no significant difference in student scores while using Math Explorer. So, but overall, technology does have a positive effect on students' attitudes and their understandings of math concepts. So the implications I have for future practice in the near future would be, it would be interesting to conduct this study with a control group and an experimental group. And I would like to use a comparison method. For instance, I would like to compare a class, both classrooms having math teachers, and one class did not use Study Allen versus another class that did use Study Allen, and compare those scores. And also I would like to compare teacher-led instruction versus Study Allen independently, and again compare those two scores and see if technology made a huge difference. So overall, technology does have a positive effect on student achievement and their perceptions, and very few studies have pointed out no significant difference due to lack of technology and students' ability to use the technology. So the action research process has been fun. I learned a great deal. Thank you.